Hello, hello, hello. This is AKUKURA, aka Aku Korea, aka Aku, aka Korea, aka Creme Brulee today. Alright? Sugary sweet, and I got that schmeat. Alright, lock in. Lyria, now it's not the time. Okay. Oh yeah, forgot. You know what, fuck it, bro. Oh look. I'm out this bitch, bro. I ain't got time for this. Anyway, bro, Viren, get off my shit, bro. Hello? Alright, thanks for the pie, Viren. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, today we're going to be talking about, of course, the condom, bro. Okay, whatever. Anyway, we were talking about the New Year's banner. All right, we got don't even worry about that. I got Spark videos gonna go up before this one, but we got Indala, the Zodiac, Raphael, Primarch with the little like wind Zeph passive down there, and we got Goblin Mage, Cutie Patootie. She out here doing big boom booms. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Orologia, the Providence summon for this year. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So, there's a lot of ways I can go about this video. I can, go from top to bottom as I tend to do with, starting with the Zodiac going down to Orologia. Save the best for last. Or, we could knock Orologia out of the way, and then all y'all are going to be like, okay, well, I already know what Orologia does. I can go ahead and just leave. Nah, we're getting that viewer retention. So I'm going to go from top to bottom. I do leave timestamps down below in my video. So, if I'm gonna make you work. If you're gonna go skip later into the video for Orologia, god damn it, you're gonna have to work for it. Alright? So, uh, if y'all didn't see, I was streaming with my boy AJT last night. It was a banger. It was absolutely phenomenal. I guess because y'all can see that I already, cleared the banner. It's no surprise. Your boy came out clutch. That video was a banger. If you're watching this video before that video, I'd recommend you watch that video first because it's a lot of precedence, I guess, or has precedence. I don't fucking know English. It precedes this video, right? Right? Or proceed after? I don't fucking know. Go watch that video first if you're clicking this one for some reason. Um, but yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to test a lot of these characters. I don't play Wind, so Raphael is haven't tried him. Indala, yo, you know what? Let's just get into it. I don't want to spoil it. Let's just get into it. So we're gonna talk about Indala first. We'll start with the weapon as per usual. Um, Serpentius. It is a saber. The Ogi is massive dark damage with a hit to dark defense stackable. Restore dark allies HP. Remove one debuff. I mean, okay. Hatred Selir, medium boost to attack and crit. Boost the Dark Allies skill damage cap. Supplement Dark Allies crit hit damage. So this weapon is like not the worst. It's only bad in the context of Dark because Dark doesn't give a fuck about critting. We don't run Babble anywhere. There's like really no other good crit weapons. I mean, Blood Gang and Bloody Scar, but again, no other good crit weapons. Not to say that Blood Gang is bad because it is good in some situations, but it's not good in those situations where it's used as a crit weapon. Um, so I mean, there's nothing much to say about this. I mean, if you happen to get a bunch of copies of it, cool. Maybe it'll have some decent main hand purposes. I can't off the top of my head think of a good dart sword main hand. Oh, Excalibur. But I mean, if you don't have Excalibur, I guess Fetial sword is pretty decent. I don't recommend maining Fallen Sword because it doesn't really do very much. And then Blood Gang gives you Drain to allies, which situationally could be more beneficial than just outright getting a heal. But this also gives you a cleanse on Ogi, so who knows? But I don't think that weapon's that crazy. I don't gotta too depth in it. So Indala, Yuki Nakashima. You know what? Hold on a minute. I'm trying to hear that. Trying to hear that. Is there not a voice button? Oh, I got scammed. Hold on, I got y'all. I got y'all. This New Year's? Oh, this is birthday. This is New Year's. This is probably crazy low for you guys. But I got you. I got you.
特別なお守りなんだ。お腹すい。キャン。十二神将のみんなを除けば、君が初めての相手だな。出会ってからまだ日は浅いが、私にとってはそれくらい君の存在が大きいということだ。それは私の代わりだと思って肌身離さず、もなくしたら不幸が訪れるだろう。というのは冗談だが、大事にしてくれると嬉しい。
Okay, so she a little jokester. We got jokes. Okay, Indala, I see you. I see you. Also, if you haven't seen my last video, I'm still sick with the flu. Like I'm pretty much recovered, but I still have like some congestion and shit going on. So if I sound nasally and I'm like stumbling on my words and I can't speak as ADHD accelerated as I typically do, that's why. Regardless, we're gonna get into this, and I'm gonna lower my volume again because I feel like I had complaints that my voice is low on stream yesterday. I'm not talking very loud, so let's see here. So Indala, she's human, sword katana, which for dark isn't, I mean, that's not terrible because like Fediel's sword as well. It's not the best because dark has a lot of like staff and dagger and stuff, so but sword is, you know, not too bad for dark. Looking at her Ogi here, Gilded Heaven Strike. Doesn't this usually have a U in it? Maybe not. Anyway, massive dark damage to a foe, and cooldowns for Serpentine, Sweep, and Snake Rattle and Royal. Raise Indala's scaled up level by 1. When level is 5, Tireless Spirit effect to Indala, a reset level. And that resets the level of scaled up, not of Tireless Spirit. So in cooldown for skill 1 and skill 2, raise Indala's scaled up level by 1. And you know what? Before I even get like super into this, I'm gonna pull up the wiki on the side early this time so we get some numbers. Okay. Serpentine Sweep. Dark damage to all foes, hit to multi-attack rate stackable, raise Toxicosis level by 1, max 10, and when a foe's Toxicosis level is 7 or above, it activates twice. Curious what the multiplier is. Oh, they don't have numbers up on the wiki right now. The nuke is... Sorry, I just woke up. The nuke is pretty decent. I mean, could be higher, considering, you know, you gotta spam click all these abilities, but it's a pretty decent sized nuke. Becomes even better when it activates twice, but getting Toxicosis to level 7 is a little difficult, especially on Dark, because that leaves you with Kupiton, Magus, and what's that big titty bitch's name? I'm gonna go all the way here and I'm gonna remember it before even like getting there. It's not Magus, it's Magisa. It is Magisa. Okay, so yeah, Magisa also does Toxicosis. For skill 1 or something? From what I was told? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Magus and Tanya. Either way, and actually I'm gonna go look at Indala's character in the thingy for more accuracy. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do this in this video, cause you know. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, cool. Got that out the way. And this is a 6-turn cooldown as well. Snake Rattle and Royal Plus, 4-hit dark damage to random foes, 10% boost to dark allies charge bars. When a foe's Toxicosis level is 7 or above, hit number doubles, so you get 8 hits, but it does not activate twice, so you only get 10% charge bar boost. And yes, I did run her without her skill 3. I don't want to talk about it. So, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. But, I also watched AJT tester, and I watched a couple crewmates tester, and yeah, she just doesn't, like, I don't know. The nukes do decent damage, but it's just she has the Medusa issue where you just spam out a bunch of skills and it takes a bunch of time. Or the who was the other character that was like that? Just like any skill reset character, they're always like not the best because you just like keep spamming and spamming and spamming and it takes up so much time. And unless you make the damage like ridiculously bonkers, it's never gonna be like competitive. Stable, sure, but competitive, not really, from what I can gather. Venom and Vigor. Boost a Dark Ally skill specs, amplify skill damage, instant CA standby to caster, 3-turn cut to caster's Tireless Spirit effect. So, we don't know the numbers on that at the moment, but I think it's a, I mean, you kind of need this skill because you get all this, like all these buffs and stuff. And I believe it's 100% uptime as well, but in exchange for missing out on this a little bit, I believe. Immune to poison effect, tireless spirit effect to Indala at battle start. While in effect, debuff immunity can recast damage skills and debuff skills once each turn they are cast. Sleep effect to Indala when effect ends. And then Yato no Kami is when a dark ally uses a skill that raises foes' toxicosis level, raise foes' snakebit level by 1, up to a maximum of 10. Hit the foe's attack and defense based on snakebit level, supplement skill damage. When snakebit level is 10, 5-turn cut to removable buffs gained by foe. So, essentially like a Super Halmao 3, because, well not really, because that shit just outright removes buffs. Which is crazy. And that's just a grand. This is a whole Zodiac. You would think, you know, it'd be comparable in level, but I suppose not. And then this attack and defense, like hit to it, is actually pretty substantial, and like the supplement skill damage is pretty substantial. So it is pretty nice to have. To get the like her entire kit revolves around toxicosis. You get your stacks of snake bit based off toxicosis. You get your additional effects based off toxicosis, and the only way you can really apply it is through her skill 1, which gives you 2 stacks at battle start because of the tireless spirit effect, and then you proc this skill 3, which gives you instant CA standby, which resets this skill, which gives you on turn 2 more stacks of toxicosis, which puts you at 4, and then typically if you're running like Magus, you'll be at 7 in like 3 or 4 turns, roughly. So it's actually pretty decent, like how her kit funnels into it, and then having to keep up those toxicosis levels, of course. The only issue is when she falls asleep, but if you do take damage, you do wake up from the sleep. You cannot clarity it or, you know, remove it via any type of like skill, but you can damage yourself or be damaged, and then it will wake her up. So that's something to keep in mind as well. If I could compare her to other units, like let's take Yachuma for example, because she was recent. Yachuma gives so many party-wide buffs, like Echo and attack up and defense up and armored and debuff resistance up and outright damage reduction on top of the armored. And I'm probably missing some things, but Yachuma gives like so many different party-wide buffs from turn 4 and onward, or I guess when you have data synchronization and onward, and it's essentially for free. I mean, you don't really have to do anything. Yachuma gets hit, and she hits the boss, and you get buffs, and then those buffs eventually apply to your whole team, and everybody wins. But, you know, in this instance, she's pretty selfish, because all she does is, like, I mean, she debuffs, right, which is not selfish in nature, which is cool, I guess, but it doesn't really do that much. And then she nukes a lot, which, again, you can find damage sources from anywhere else. And then she boosts charge bar by 10%, which helps. But there's other units that are like completely Ogi looping in other elements. For example, Light and Wind could just Ogi fucking forever, damn near. Earth as well with like Omyoji and what was it? Omyoji and Octo and Base Grand Alex You get a lot of charge bar from that. You kind of loop forever. But Dark doesn't really have that. And they keep getting characters where you get like 10% boost or 20% boost to charge bar, and it's just not enough. Like, it's not enough, and then you don't get the charge bar gain either. So it's like, makes it really difficult to try to move into like Ogi compositions with Dark. Even though you get a lot of characters like this that are kind of Ogi centered because you can only get this scaled up um, via Ogi, and you have to Ogi 5 times. She doesn't have any form of CA reactivation, so you just have to outright Ogi 5 times. You're missing a time or a turn to Ogi because you're gonna be asleep and you have to get hit, or God forbid, asleep for multiple turns. So you're missing out on numerous turns of possible Ogiing, and it just kind of makes everything like a little difficult to build around. I think overall, where would I see her being used? I mean, you could probably use her in Fa Zero, Hexa, Sub HL, like all these raids, just because they've gotten cracked down to a science. Even if you're not doing too much, every other element, every element's doing like more than enough, bare minimum these days. So you can mess around and play around with some stuff, and get a lot of mileage out of specific characters if you want to build around them. I just think, again, in her case, it's hard to build around her because Dark doesn't have too many units that are good and stable that you could run in high level content like Fa Zero and Hexa. Um, that one newer raid, the guy that gives you like the Viking and like drops like this shit, down here on the bottom of the screen, she would probably be good in that raid. But again, you click so many skills, and that boss gets unchallenged at what, 60, like 60 40 20 or like 60 20. So you have to be careful because then you might end up on a turn where she's spamming out all her skills and all her double casts, and you're doing it into unchallenged. So even then, like, not the best to use there. Maybe for like a Dark FA solo, but I don't know. As of right now, I don't see where you would use this character. Um, maybe Cosmos. Maybe like she could be used like Cosmos FA, possibly. Well, you could for joining, but for like solo, like 100 to 0, I don't know. You have to manage the bar extremely well. I'm so sorry for yawning. I'm just tired. But yeah, no, that's my opinion. I think this character needs a rebalance. Like, I know she's not even been out for what, 24 hours, but I think that with the current state of the game, everything is just quick, quick, quick. Even Yashima's like 4-turn startup, like 4-turn minimum startup to get her data synchronization is not all that fast in today's meta. Like, if sometimes, like, if you're not at least debuffing the boss and doing some type of like damage reductive action so you don't get blown up sometimes, you could just lose your front line sometimes it depends on the situation and the boss you're hitting. But even then, like, spamming out 4 turns is sometimes a lot, and it puts you behind other players. For example, just to get the skill 3 to activate for your team on Yachima, you would have to, again, get hit 4 times. And if you're taking that into like Bahamut high level, for example, that boss doesn't hit every character, so you're not going to be guaranteed to get her data synchronization within 4 turns. So now you're looking anywhere from 5, 10, 15 turns possibly, because it's a single target boss. Comparatively to this, the wind up, of course, is you can get the Toxicosis up, within the first 3 or 4 turns to level 7. And then by turn 6, these skills will be back up to use, and you can, and you can't double cast them again because by turn 6 you haven't Ogied 6 times. You're going to be asleep because if you're clicking this for instant CA standby, you're going to be cutting the Tireless Spirit effect. So, I don't know, things are just a little rough. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know where you'd use her. I mean, with all the raids, you could use her in Fall Zero. Probably you could make it work. You could definitely make her work in like sub HL. In terms of the other raids, like maybe like you could use her here for sure. You could use her in Horus for sure. You could use her in Luo for sure, and Cosmos. But the problem is, it's just like, again, it's slower than what we already had before. So there's that. But moving on, we are gonna go to, I guess it'd be easier to do this. Raphael, and let's go ahead and take a look at his weapon as well. I'm gonna pull it up on the side here. So, what's the weapon called? Goblin of Gales. Valiant Whirlwind. Massive wind damage to a foe. MC deals triple attack while in effect. Normal attacks deal 2-hit damage to random foes. I don't know how long that uptime is, but I'm assuming it'd probably be a couple turns at least, like 2 to 3. Big boost to wind allies attack based on how high HP is, so, you know, big stamina 2, that's very good. Through Tempest and Torrent, when main weapon, MC only, after normal attacks, boost the wind allies attack and multi-attack rate stackable. Supplement damage stackable. We don't know the numbers on that yet, but very good first skill. Again, supplemental damage stackable, boost the wind allies attack, multi-attack rate, just makes everything a lot easier. I do think that going forward, they're probably going to be doing a lot of these MC only type of weapons just to make it a one-of, because they've already made these like reactor weapons and exaltos and PNS type weapons where that's what's filling our grid. Now they're trying to push into stuff like Fenny Staff and Grand Vein Axe and, you know, things, and like, yeah, of course, Raphael weapon, to allow us to mix and match our grid with the pieces they've given us, but then of course getting a main hand to do things. Because for example, you can't run Vein Axe on Monk, but you can run this on Monk. So now we're getting optimal options for different classes, and they're making all these new classes, and so we're gonna have options. All right, we got options. Undaunted Cyclone, when main weapon, MC only, upon using first slot skill, double strike effect to MC, bonus superior elemental damage effect, boost the normal attack damage. Phenomenal skill. Phenomenal skill. This is good on like T0 setups, where you call T0 turn 1, and then you can put Galleon buff on MC, and then you could click skill 1, and that way you could Ogi, give your team double strike, and then you also get an extra auto at the end for your MC if you're missing a little bit of damage. Of course, that's not the optimal usage of Galleon 1, but it's an option. Again, we got options. I think this weapon is good. I might even wager that it's great. I think it's great in the situations where it's great in. So, for example, like running Monk and, you know, getting this double strike, you're proccing your nukes twice, and you get bonus superior elemental damage. So it's good against, I guess I was gonna say multi-LE bosses, but there's not really that many of those. You could probably, oh, you know what? You could do like Win Luchador. You could do like maybe a Luchador setup for Wind in Bahama High Level, because you could click Simibito skill 1 that gives MC double strike and echo and damage cap up, all that type of stuff, and then you could summon T0, because like for fire, right? For fire, you click Orchid 3, or yeah 3, you call Yachima, then you do Nan 4 and then tag team and then Percy 3 and then attack. For this, you could do T0 summon, or I guess you use the MC first skill first, and then you summon T0, and then you could do like Naru 1-3 and like Galleon 1, and then maybe that does enough. You'd probably also want to use like Vampy or something, but that Vampy is kind of hard to do because it's too many clicks at that point. But I mean, it's potential somewhere. Just something to think about. But overall, pretty good weapon, pretty good weapon. Situationally, great weapon. And then moving on to Raphael here. Simeon Sickle Rush Plus, massive wind damage to a foe, remove 1 buff, boost to all wind allies attack, 2 Smaragdos to Raphael, max 10. I'm not reading this shit, bro. I'm not fucking Jesus. I can't do this anymore. I can't. So, skill 1. Boost the Wind Allies charge bar game and CA specs. Dodge all attacks from foes 1 time. Alright, so why couldn't Indala get this, right? Because if you got charge bar game, I guess you could like cycle calling Hades, but then you're locked into double Hades, and then you have to summon. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but charge bar gain is always very, very good. It's 5 turns with a 8-turn cooldown. So what is that? Uh, I don't even fucking know. 1.2 or like 0.125 times 5, roughly like 70% uptime. Or like 60-70% uptime, which is not that bad. Um, Dodge all is pretty good, all things considered, unless the boss has God Sight. Um, that's pretty good. And then of course CA Specs is very, very good as well. Roaming Cyclone Plus, 16 hit wind damage to random foes. Tempestus, Lucidium, or Ludi... I don't fucking know. New effect to wind allies. Effect ends upon taking damage 3 times. It gives you a 10k per hit cap of earth damage. Dodge rate's boosted. Charge bar is boosted on every turn. So you essentially gave him charge bar gain, and you're giving the party charge bar at the end of the turn. So you can just... So basically, he single-handedly batteries your team. Pretty much. Crazy. Crazy. But very good skill. 3 out of... Well, bare minimum 3 out of 12 turn uptime, but typically tends to be more than that. You could also couple this with Grimnir in this element. You know, it's called Grimnir, get that 10k shield. Pretty good, pretty good. Wind 4, 1000% wind damage to all foes. Undaunted Gale effect. Instant CA standby to caster. CA react. Again, why couldn't Indala get this, bro? What the fuck? You know what it is, what it is, it's what it is. This is really good, by the way. This is a very good skill. And the CA React gives them the 2 CAs to then funnel into the 2 Smaragdos stacks. So you get 4. And then, of course, you're looping, so you get 6. And then you'll have 8 by turn... Oh, wait, 8 or 10 by turn 3 or 4. But all these skills are very, very good. Very, very strong. Very, very competent and competitive slot for Wind Ogi. I do think, in my opinion, he creeps Mirren and Eustace. Rest in peace, DY. That spark was crazy, but you know he got his rank. But still, this is wicked work by Cygames. 1 Smirgados to Raphael upon a wind ally's charge attack. Upon the chain burst, gale burst, or activating a wind faded chain, consume 8 to deal 10 hit wind damage to a foe and boost to all wind allies attacks. So this is crazy, right? Because turn 1, you click this shit, you Ogi twice, you get 4, and then your other units Ogi 4 times or more. So you literally get 8 by turn 1. And then you automatically proc this because you Gale Burst, and then he's going to consume this, and you're going to get a shit ton of damage turn 1. Crazy. Crazy. Uriel is screaming in his grave right now, by the way. Screaming. That shit's wild. And then, of course, you have the Primarch passive. Raphael looks very, 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 very good, especially in these Ogi comps. I'm not sure about, like, burst comps or anything, because it's not like he gives you Echo or any type of, like, assassin or anything like that. But in terms of Ogi, this is a strong motherfucker. And backline as well, just for the passive, now makes it to where you only need 2 Kaguya fans, plus a max ARR, and a 230 or higher Zeph to proc the extremity or sagacity key on single side, so that's also very good, very good. But yeah, overall, where do I see that character being used? Fall Zero for sure, Hexa for sure, Sub HL possibly, but you could use him there and he'd be great there as well. Guild War, of course, 200, 250. Win just had Guild War, but or did Win just have Guild War? Am I crazy? We had a Wind Guild War recently. I can't remember if last one was Wind or Earth. It was like Earth and then Wind, I think. So yeah, we had Wind Guild War already. So again, high level content. I'm trying to think of some of the Earth bosses that possibly could be slain out here. So Yigi possibly. Well, you could use him in Yigi. I don't know if he'd be the fastest. Galleon, not really. You just want to auto in that raid. Siegfried, probably, actually. You could probably use him in Siegfried. It'd be slow because Ogi, but I feel like he does so much damage you could get away with it. So yeah, you could probably FA Siegfried with this. I might actually try to set up a competition with that. That seems pretty good. Um, but yeah, phenomenal character. Uh, I would definitely say he's better than Indala, 100%. I think he's the best character on the banner. So if you had a choice between sparking Indala and Raphael, and you like equally care about Dark and Wind, I think Raphael is definitely the pickup. If you're like a Zodiac collector, then of course you're gonna go for Indala. But again, I don't see where you would ever use Indala ever with current game state plus current state of Dark. You would just never use her anywhere. She has no usage. The compositions all stay the same, so something to keep in mind. Goblin Mage, my baby boo. Look at her. Oh shit, wrong button. Look at her. She's so cute. She's so cute. Staff unknown, and I guess I forgot to mention her weapon, but her weapon's, you know, negligible. Just a big boost of CA damage and boost the light ally skill damage cap, so passable. Taking a crack at her here. Sparkling Paint plus massive light damage to a foe. Remove 1 debuff from light allies. Raise Goblin Mage's sparkling level by 1, max 3 at level 3, and Goblin Mage's debuff skill cooldowns. So that would be her skill 1 and skill 2. Skill 1 is Super Space Out plus hit to a foe's attack and defense. Remove 1 buff. Delay effect. Interesting. Ooh, and that's 6 out of 8 uptime on those debuffs. I wonder what the strength of it is. I wonder if it's on the wiki. Let's check. Probably not though. Yeah, it's not up yet. Okay. So many shinies. 7 hit light damage to random foes. 3 random debuffs to all foes. Number of debuffs increased based on caster's sparkling level. And you raise her sparkling level by 1 from Ogi. Number of debuff increases based on. Okay, so it does a fuck ton of debuffs. Cool. More mage power. 5 hit light damage to all foes. Extend debuff durations by 1 term based on highest debuff count among all foes. Hit number increases to 10. Boost the multi-attack rate and skill specs based on sparkling level. When a foe has a debuff at end of turn, chance to deal light damage to all foes. 5% boost the Goblin Mage's charge bar. Chance increases based on number of foes debuffs. Number of hits increase based on sparkling level. So, bro, I mean, this character's negligible, to be honest. I don't ever see anyone using this character ever, unless it's like for fun. So, I'm not gonna go too in depth with her. If you want to use her, There's nothing really more to say about that. I do think the debuff extension duration is interesting. It's interesting. Maybe if they ever add like a 2-turn light debuff that's local, and you extend it to 3 turns, and you like kill this character off somehow, possibly. But other than that, that's the only interesting thing I noticed in her kit. So that's Goblin Mage out of the way. And last but certainly not least, the powerhouse of the banner, Orologia. Now I wish I could pull up like the FLB of the. I guess I could do it this way. So as a main aura, it is at 0 star, 100% boosted dark attack. At 4 star, it's 140% boosted dark attack with a 40% boosted dark allies HP. The sub aura is connect to MC to the power of the boundary for 1 turn at battle start. Changes MC's first skill slot to Transcendent Blue. I just want you guys to know that skill is fucking broken. Alright, before we even get into any of this shit, that skill is broken. Alright, that sub aura is disgusting. When you click that first slot skill and you get all those fucking buffs and that fat fucking nuke, broken. If you have a spark this banner, because if you miss out on like this opportunity to get this summon, I mean, this is what, our 5th year of Providence. We've had Belial, Bubs, Yachima, T0, and now Orologia. We've been through this. If you're newer to Grand Blue, these Providence summons are crazy. They're crazy. People spend a lot of money trying to get these summons. They spark a shit ton of times. My boy AJT had 8 sparks ready in case he got hoed over, but of course he didn't. You know, that boy swept the banner. And then you have some people that use their Sierra tickets. Don't look at my gold moon count, by the way. Don't bully me. I got 30. I just bought Shishio. I'm already back up to 30. Damn. I'm moving different. Anyway, um, yeah, no. So you have the what is it? The Sierra special pick ticket. So some people you can get it with that. I will never, ever, ever, ever recommend Sierraing a Providence summon. The only time I will ever recommend Sierraing a Providence summon is if you are ranking like top 100 for a Guild War. That is the only time. Top 2K, you can get that shit with like the bare minimum. Uh, Top 2K is mostly time investment. If you have a shitty setup, invest more time. If you have a god tier setup, you barely have to play the game for the most part. Once you get like day 3 and day 4, cause you could just like fucking 8 to 10 build daily and then call it a day. But yeah, I never recommend zeroing Providence Summon unless of course you're going for a top 100 guild war and it's needed. Um, but yeah, and let me get out of this screen because it's fucking loud. So yeah, crazy summon. I don't know a lot of the numbers yet, and I don't think a lot of people know a lot of the numbers yet, but it is you do a crazy amount of damage. Even just like off of banner release, people were able to one shot EX plus with just MC skill 1. And then I saw someone do it with Futsu as well. So it's disgusting. Shit ton of damage, and then you get a ridiculous amount of buffs. If you call it, you do 15 hit elemental damage to random foes, and you supplement all allies damage by maximum of 100,000. So it's basically like a dragon summon, but you actually do damage with the call as well. 6 dragon summon to be particular. Connect MC to the power of the boundary for 1 turn, double strike effect, set HP to full, remove all debuffs, changes MC's first skill slot to Transcendent Blue. So, as far as I'm aware, these are 2 separate, whatchamacallit, 2 separate instances. So you can proc Transcendence Blue with the sub aura, but you can only slot 1 of these per thing, right? I think you can only have 1 per... Oh, we do have the numbers. So I'll look at it later. But I think you can only slot 1 Orologia per grid. Because what you could have done was have 1 in the sub-aura and 1 in the main aura. I guess it wouldn't even matter if you main aura it. Because you can sub it, like just summon it, and then call it after a specific amount of turns. So you can proc this twice from what I'm reading. So you get the Transcendence Blue effect twice, and you get the double strike effect, and you set your HP to full and remove all debuffs, which is pretty good. Pretty good. That shit's broken. That shit is disgusting. Wow. So we'll scroll down here. This skill still activates effects that require pressing MC's first skill slot, like Shishio, Swan, and Raphael. Effects that specify the class's first slot skill will not apply for Transcendence Blue, like Eotromantis. This skill shares the same full auto toggle settings as the original class skill it replaces. Grants the following buffs to MC. Oh wait, hold on a minute. Ah, so like if you have a red or green first skill, it's not gonna proc. But it does say toggle settings, so maybe like if you have MC first skill off, then it won't use this skill. I think that's more so what it was getting at. I could test it later. We get 20% perp attack, 30% defense, 100% DA, 50% TA, 10% cap up, 10% damage amp seraphic, and then debuff accessory boosted. So these are all very, very good. These are essentially Beelzebub numbers, for free. So that's pretty cool. There's nothing really more to say about this. You're gonna use this summon for Guild War 100% guaranteed. You are going to use this summon in specific burst setups 100% guaranteed. And you are maybe gonna use this for high level. As like a get out of jail free card for your MC. I don't know yet what you would use this for. Like application wise, like I don't know what you would use this for. Like sure you could run this in like say Fa Zero or Hexa, but do you really like what does that get you in that raid is more so what I'm getting at. Like you get for the call some supplemental damage of 15 hits. Okay, cool, whatever. Double strike and heal. Okay, whatever. Most setups already have that built into like the characters and whatnot. Um, I don't really see this being used on like high level content in particular. Uh, like those hard raids, but definitely for like bursting and guild war, it's core as fuck. So that's Orologia. If I could give you a summary of the banner, and I'll make a little TLDR section. Um, I think everyone should pull on this banner for the chance of getting Orologia. Some people are iffy about YOLO rolling and like versus sparking. I'm not gonna be the guy to tell you to YOLO roll, but if you have a spark, I would spark. I would wait, of course, until the last day of the roulette because we still have 3 more roulette spins. Um, but you know, of course, I would spark this banner. If you have a spark, I would spark it. I'm sure you have a spark saved up for this banner. Um, I think Goblin Mage is a non-factor. I think Indala is a non-factor. Again, I don't really see her having any type of usage anytime soon, unless they just add a raid where she's good in somehow. Um, she could possibly get a rebalance, but I wouldn't bank on that. So if you had a choice between, again, Raphael, Indala, and Goblin Mage as a spark, I would go Raphael, and then Indala, and then I wouldn't even spark Goblin Mage. I would just go, you know, look for possibly like any of these other characters that you're possibly missing. Um, so yeah, that's my TLDR on the characters. Raphael's weapon is a one of because it's an MC only weapon for main hand. So again, I would only get like 1 copy of it. If you want to save bars and you're a whale and you don't have Orologia, of course you get the benefit of saving bars from getting multiple copies of his weapon. And then of course Orologia is a complete coin flip. You're either gonna get it or you're not. Whether you spend 10 rolls, 20 rolls, 200, 2,000, it's RNG at the end of the day. Beast Providence summons are always brutal as fuck. But yeah, that's my take on the banner. Uh, Again, I'm editing my Spark video at the moment, so that's gonna go up before this video, and then I might rip the stream highlights from last night and upload those. So that's gonna be a thing. I am gonna record a video for my second channel again. I just posted on that channel yesterday. I will be uploading again today, and then again on the 3rd. So keep that in mind. I will link it in the description of this video. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you were having a phenomenal roulette roll session, New Year's anniversary, not anniversary, holiday. Yeah, there we go. I hope y'all getting to spend some time with your family and friends. I will be streaming again tonight, so this video will be going up before I go to work here in 2 hours. So I will be streaming again tonight in 10 hours, possibly. I might spend time with my family. We'll see. We'll see. Expect the stream in 10 hours. And if there's not a stream in 10 hours, then expect the stream tomorrow. And I'll give y'all an update. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Twitter.com or I guess x.com/akukoria. I'll give an update on when I'm streaming there. And then, of course, just look out for my YouTube channel. If I do stream tomorrow, it will be at like 8 a.m. I'm going to be farming bars. So, yeah, look out for that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And, yeah, peace out.